Hello everyone, I am Erika of beadingschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly open workshop to make sure that every beader all around the world has company. You can watch today's workshop live from the Beading School Facebook page and also from the Beading School Facebook club. And then later we will also upload it to YouTube to our channel, so you can watch the recording anytime. We are also keeping an eye on the comments there, so don't worry if you have a question. We will get back to you and help you out. Please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Before we would start, then I would like to make sure that everything is all right. I'm actually searching for the thread and needle in the meanwhile that I have just prepared for today. I hope I'm not sitting on it, but yeah, it fell, but I have it now. I'm safe. So, hi Facebook user friends, and Iris here, and Gunel, and Eleanor, and Nancy, and 𝐍𝐻𝐿, and Jean. Dobre rano. And Marta, and Marianne, and Harmony. And Marta says that she can see me and hear me, so that's wonderful. And Orit, and Cindy, and Kimberly, and Faye. Good morning, Faye. Ginny, Elena, Wanda, Connie, Jessica, Zuzi, Kata is here. So happy to see you. I know that you work a lot these days. Ellie, Yosin, Angelica, Carol, and some of you mentioning that you can't download the tutorial. I will explain it in a little while how you can download it. And Carol joined in the meanwhile, and Barbarka. So good to see you. Unbelievable. I'm so happy that you made it today. And Irina, and Kara, and Anita, and Shelly, Martika, and Katarina. So today, thank you so much, ladies, for so many of you joining from all over the world, literally from New Zealand until the United States and everything in between. And today we are going to work on the GIGARO earrings. So the earrings, they are one of the designs that I have prepared for you from the new Beading School Academy La Dolce Vita team box. And yeah, you can make it into earrings like I did, or a bracelet, or whatever you want, because the motif is really versatile. But first, I will show you on the screen how you can download the tutorial today that makes it easier for you to follow the class, because unfortunately we do have a technical glitch these days that is like causing surprising problems. Every day something else. The bead shop is working well, but stuff like tutorial download doesn't, unfortunately. So I would like to ask you for a little patience until we figure out everything, and I will show you how you can download the tutorial today. So first of all, please navigate to the usual noonehas2beadalone.com site, or if you visit beadingschool.com, then you can just click No One Has to Bead Alone in the main menu, and it takes you there directly. As always, there are two versions of the tutorial. One version is a support version for €5. And if you go for that, then you help us like going on with the videos every Friday. And then there is also a gift version to make sure that everyone can enjoy this beading workshop. And usually you can download it for 3 days by clicking on this button. However, that's the stuff that's not working today, unfortunately. So what you need to do is here is a little text about the material list. And it says, because of a website error, you can't download the gift version of the tutorial from here. So you can click here. And in a few seconds, it will take you to a version of the tutorial which costs 0. So you can normally just add it to your cart and check out, and paying nothing for it if you would like to go for the gift version. The classic version, the support version, it works by clicking on the support the broadcast, and then it adds it to your shopping cart and you can check out as always. So ladies, please let me know if this worked for you. I want to make sure that everything is all right. And in the meanwhile, I would like to greet also Corinne and Sarah and Sherry and Jennifer, and Claire is here, and Tinkerper and Sangita and Margareta, and Angelica says that it works fine. So now I'm happy that we figured this out together. I would like to ask a little favor of you. If someone asks during the broadcast how she can download the free version of the tutorial, then please help her out by answering her message, because during the broadcast I would prefer not going back again and again to the website to show it. So I would really, really appreciate your help with this. Thank you so much, ladies. So in the meanwhile, also Liv joined us and Anita joined us. So today we will bead GIGARO. All the jewels that I have prepared for you for the upcoming 2 months, they got their names after flowers that are typical for Italy, because the new team La Dolce Vita is inspired by the Dolce Vita lifestyle. And all the names that I chose, they represent a symbolic flower of one of the regions in Italy. So let's start with GIGARO. And let's see, what do you need for them? So you need some SUPERDUO beads for one motif. I will always save the numbers for one motif, because then you can just easily double the amounts for earrings, or keep it simple for a pendant, or multiply it by as many times as you need to repeat the motif for a bracelet. So for one motif, you need 4 pieces of SUPERDUO beads, 4 pieces of MIYUKI half TILA beads, 4 pieces of 4mm fire polished beads, then 6 pieces of 3mm round beads, round pearls, drug beads, whatever you like to call them. These are on the edge. Then you need, I used a 2.8mm SS10 size Preciosa Suvan rhinestone, but you can put here something else blingy, or put there 4mm rhinestone. You will need to play a bit and figure out the exact number of the beads here, but it is adjustable if you don't have the tiny rhinestone. You will also need some size 15 and size 11 round MIYUKI seed beads, and then size 11 MIYUKI DELICA. Then the rest, it's optional, depending on the type of the jewel that you are going to make. So I have here a pressed glass drop, 6 times 9mm, and then a nice ear wire. But you can go, of course, for a different type of drop, or you can do it without a drop. You can use a bail to turn it into a neck pendant, or add a beaded bail. Or actually, since my pair of beaded earrings from the box is ready, then I will bead today a matching brooch, and I will attach it later to a filigree brooch base. So ladies, please let me know if you have any questions regarding the material. Now, if you have also, I see 2 other questions, not concerning today's beading, but something else. I will also quickly answer those. And then I would like to ask you that until we are beading, then let's focus on questions about what we are doing at the moment. And then at the end, I'm again here for answer all kinds of questions that you might have. So Angelica says, fire nails, do they make you bead faster? Well, they make me like them more. Somehow I was not comfortable with the previous one, so I decided to go for something more energetic. I need some extra energy during these cold, gray, gloomy days. And then Corinne would like to see the necklace. So the necklace is the rose petal window, and it was featured last year on the cover of the Bead magazine from the United Kingdom. And yeah, now it's also available in the Beadingschool bead shop, the tutorial, and also some kits. So you can have it too if you like it. And yeah, what I can do with the gift version, there is a direct link. So this is also something where you can find the gift version. And thank you so much if you help each other out. Thank you, Angelica. If someone else has a question about the gift version. And hi, Bonnie. And if you don't have any other questions, Faye says, I have captions on and it changed ear wire to air fryer. Yeah, sometimes also YouTube switches on captions automatically, and then I always see how it understands how I say beading school as beading school, or all kinds of different stuff, but rarely gets it as beading school. So if you ladies don't have any other questions, then let's start beading. Jean is asking what can she use instead of the 2.8 millimeter crystal. You can use, for example, a size 8 seed bead and then attach it from 2 ways, or go for a bigger 4 millimeter rhinestone and you will need to add less seed beads around it. So hope you have those. Actually, whatever works, you just need to play a bit with the seed beads around it. And let's see what are we doing now. I will switch my camera to my hand camera now. Please let me know again if you can still hear me and see me, because it's always a tricky moment when I'm switching microphones and cameras. So I should be back now. I hope that you can still hear me. Please let me know. We will start by picking up MIYUKI half TILA beads and SUPERDUO beads. Both are shapes that I like very much. We will pick up. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Marta and Faye and Margaret, for letting me know. And Leah and Kata also. So we will pick up 4 pieces of MIYUKI half TILA beads. and 4 pieces of SUPERDUO beads interchangeably. Since these are 2-hole beads, then I always recommend to check both holes of the beads to make sure that they are open, because there can be a surprise when the other one is clogged, and you don't want that to happen. The half TILA beads, just as all the beads from the TILA family, from MIYUKI, they have a bumpy and a flat side, so you might want to pay a little attention to them and turn all beads in the same way, with the bumps up or with the bumps down. And it doesn't matter if you don't want to do that. It is just a little tip for perfectionist beaders. And once I have the 8 beads on your needle, on your thread, then you will need to bead through them one more time. By the way, just notice, if you are starting with a TILA, then finish by a SUPERDUO. I nearly had an extra half TILA on my needle, but I just noticed it. So you have the 8 beads, and you want to let them fall towards the end of your thread, leaving just a little bit that you can secure and trim later. And then bead through all the beads one more time to join them into a circle. By the way, as always, I'm using my size 11 tulip beading needles and my usual FIRELINE, the 4LB 0.12 millimeter one. After I beaded through everything one more time, then I actually bead through the very first half TILA for a third time too. So I finish by exiting with the tail and with the working end of my needle from the same hole of the same half TILA bead. So this is how it should look like. In step 2, I'm going to fill in some round 15 seed beads. However, not into every gap, not 8 pieces, only 4. So please pay attention to this part. You should be exiting a half TILA, and then you pick up one piece of the round 15 and you bead through 3 beads. You bead through a SUPERDUO, a half TILA, and another SUPERDUO. In the meanwhile, I'm pulling the tail to make sure that I have good tension. I pick up here another round 15, and then I bead through the next half TILA. Again, I pick up around 15 and I bead through 3 beads, SUPERDUO, half TILA, SUPERDUO, and here I fill in the last 4th new round 15 in this step. I bead through the half TILA that I was exiting at the very beginning, and then I start repeating the thread pass, and I continue until I am exiting the 3rd round 15 that I added in this step. So by adding the round 15s this way, then our circle, which was like initially kind of a circle, it got transformed into a rectangle. So this is how we achieve it, by adding round 15s, but not into every gap. And hi Betty, I'm glad that you made it today. Ladies, please let me know if it's going well. In the meanwhile, I will switch to picture 3, where I am adding a cute little Preciosa rhinestone together with some new seed beads. So this is a new size that I have started to work with recently. Until now, we had lots of 4mm rhinestones, also some 6mm swan rhinestones in the designs, but then I discovered that Preciosa also makes these super cute tiny ones, and I thought that we just absolutely have to have them. So they are included also in the Dolce Vita box, and I love using them. Just a bit of sparkle, but so nice. So I start this step by exiting around 15, which is after a half tila. I pick up 2 round 15s. I'm working with only one color of round 15s today. I also pick up the tiny rhinestone and 2 more round 15s. I bead through the round 15 that is exactly opposite of the one that I am exiting. And when I pull my thread, then you will see that the rhinestone and the seed beads, they form a diagonal across the rectangle. I bead back, I pull my thread here to keep good tension, and then I bead back through everything. Same hole of the rhinestone. It has 2 holes running in a cross shape, and we will work with both holes of the rhinestone. However, step 3 and step 4 will require you to bead only through the first hole, and the second one will stay empty. So I bead back through round 15 rhinestone, and 2 more round 15s, and then I bead through the initial round 15 that is in between the half tila and the SUPERDUO, and I also continue through the SUPERDUO, half tila, and the SUPERDUO combo, and even the next round 15 to get in position for the next step. So this is how it looks like. Of course, by now, the rhinestone can still turn around. We will fix that in a later step, so don't worry about it. And please let me know, ladies, how is it going? Or what are you working on if you are maybe finishing something else, maybe the beautiful Catherine motif from last week, or anything else. What's on your bead mat? And in the meanwhile, I switch to step 4 and I add 2 more seed beads in this step, still beading through the first hole of the rhinestone. That's important. So I'm exiting the round 15 that is in between SUPERDUO and half tila, and I pick up a new one. I will bead now through round 15, the tiny rhinestone, and 1 more round 15. I pull my thread, and you can see that here a little V shape is formed from the round 15s. We will create the same on the opposite side of the rhinestone. So I pick up 1 round 15, I bead through the round 15 between the SUPERDUO and the half TILA, that is opposite of the one that I was exiting at the beginning of this step. And then I bead back through the newest round 15 that I have just added. I bead back through round 15, tiny rhinestone, round 15. I pull my thread well. I bead through one more round 15, and then I finish this step by beading through the round 15 that I was exiting at the beginning, and get in position for the next step by beading through both holes of the half TILA that is next to the round 15 that I was exiting. So this is how your motif should look like at this point. And Wanda says that she's not beading today because of pain. I'm so sorry to hear that, Wanda, but she's working on her mini kits and opening her new advent calendar stash. Wanda, enjoy it very, very much. I think making the mini kits is also part of the fun, how you are preparing for the next theme. Actually, I think you were the one who started to do it, right? Do I remember it well? I hope that you can bead again very soon. And Nancy says, I am working on the third pair of the Rococo earrings right now. Wonderful, and they look so nice, the two pairs that you have already posted in the club with the addition of the pearl at the bottom. I love them. Angelica was beading today from her sparkly winter box. Oh, that's a really good one. I'm happy that you are enjoying it, Angelica. And yeah, let's see what step 5 holds for us. So at this point, I am exiting the outside hole of a half TILA bead. There are now big gaps where I filled in the round 15s between the MIYUKI half TILAs and the SUPERDUOs, and there are now small gaps also where there is no extra seed bead, and I will fill them in different ways. So I will add a 4mm fire polished bead into the big gaps. It's also easier to recognize where you need to add the 4mm fire polished ones because they are in alignment with the diagonal lines that we have just created for the middle. And then into the small gaps, I add MIYUKI DELICA size 11s. Again, here is a big gap, another big gap, two more small gaps, and the last big gap, waiting for 4mm fire polished bead. I finish off this step by beading through half TILA, 4mm fire polished bead, and then SUPERDUO and the first MIYUKI DELICA that I have added. So the rectangle is growing, the rhinestone is still turning around, so don't worry about that, that's all right. In the meanwhile, Betty says, I'm sitting here looking at all my advent calendar goodies. I can't make up my mind on what to make first. Oh, enjoy the goodies, Betty. And maybe our fellow beaders here have some recommendations on a nice pattern that they enjoyed recently. And Shirley is here, so good to see you. She says, I'm late to the party. I will just watch and make it later. Hello, everyone. Hello, Shirley. And also, hello, Gisela. Good to see you too. And I am now switching to step 6. If you are working on the GIGARO motif, is it going well for you? How is it going, ladies? Please let me know. I will need some more MIYUKI delicas for this step, and I will also need some 3mm round pearl. And I will always fill in now beads above the half TILA beads. However, I will fill in different beads on the longer side of the rectangle and different ones on the shorter side of the rectangle. So I am exiting a MIYUKI Delica now. I pick up 2 round 15 seed beads. I skip the half TILA, and then I bead through Delica, SUPERDUO, and a 4mm fire polished bead. So this is how it should look like at the moment. I arranged the 3mm round beads in a way so they sit nice and tight. And into the small gap in between the 2 4mm fire polished beads, I add a group of 3 beads, 1 Delica, then a 3mm round pearl, and another Delica. And then I bead through the fire polished bead, the SUPERDUO, and the Delica. So it should look like this. And now I will add again the 2 3mm beads over the MIYUKI half TILA in the longer side, in the middle of the longer side. And I bead through Delica SUPERDUO fire polished bead. And here on the shorter side, I add again the Delica 3mm round bead and second Delica combination. And I finish again by starting to repeat the thread pass and finishing in between 2 3mm round pearls. Margareta has an advice. She will start working on the frozen lake pendant soon. That's a very, very beautiful one, Margaret. Leah says that it's going great for her, just the right speed. I'm super happy about that, Leah. And Facebook user friend is doing okay too. By the way, I see you as Facebook user. If you are watching from the Beading School Club, you can click on the link about the video to enable my broadcasting program if you want to see your name and see your face, and then I can greet you personally. And yeah, step 6 is finished. And let's see, what are we doing now? I am switching now to another color of Delica beads. So I continue by adding 1 single Delica bead in my second color in between the 2 3mm round beads. And then there is a gap here, and I want to fill it in with 2 pieces of MIYUKI DELICA beads in the first color. After picking them up, I bead through the fire polished bead, DELICA 3mm round bead, DELICA fire polished bead. Then again I have a gap. I fill in 2 DELICA beads, and now again I'm at the position in between the 2 3mm round beads, so I add an accenting DELICA and I continue with a pair to fill in this gap. And I continue on the edge until I am exiting the 4th fire polished bead. I pick up the 4th pair of DELICAs that I need to add in this step, and I finish off step 7 by beading through a 3mm bead and a MIYUKI DELICA. And I have to add here that 3mm round beads are not always exactly 3mm. So the exact size, the precise size, it depends on the manufacturer, but also it depends on the color coating. So it might happen that yours are a bit tinier, and then you might need to add, instead of 2 DELICAs, maybe a combo of DELICA round 15 DELICA, or maybe yours are bigger and you need to solve it in a different way. But we are not connecting any more beads on the edge, so it doesn't matter, don't worry. Just fill in the gaps as you like them. So this is how it looks like at the moment. Margareta is asking if anyone was beading already the frozen lake. I think Miriam was, but I'm not 100% sure. And hi, Kathleen. I see you now. And step 8, we are going to finally fix the second hole of the rhinestone. I was waiting for this. I don't like my rhinestones when they turn around. So I will show you the finished piece quickly. So as you can see, there will be a long line of seed beads running from the very bottom until the top of the earrings. So I think this decoration from the seed beads and its unusual shape, like the long line in the middle and then the extra cross with the diagonal lines that we added earlier, this is what makes this little motif more interesting than we might expect when looking at the size and the simple beads that we are using. So you can easily make any kind of motif looking interesting by adding some top decorations, like here, the round 15s and the tiny rhinestone. So I start by exiting the DELICA bead, which is in between the 2 3mm round beads. I pick up 6 pieces of the round 15s. I pick up around 11. And then, this is very important, I turn my rhinestone in the correct way to make sure that the sparkly size is on top. And I bead through the second hole that is still open. I pull my needle and then I pick up the same beads in the opposite order. So I start by a size 11. And then I add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 size 15s. I bead through, okay, that was clumsy. I have to pick up the last two again. So I bead through the DELICA on the opposite side. And then I bead back through everything. And I bead again through the original MIYUKI DELICA that I was exiting at the beginning of this step. So my main motif is finished now. This is how it looks. I hope you like it. And please let me know how is it going with yours. This is how my finished pair of earrings look like. So as you can see, I have added some 6.9mm pressed glass drops at the bottom and an earring hook at the top. And how I add the drop at the bottom with a little trick to make it look nicer. It is included in the tutorial, so make sure to download it and save it to your computer. I have also included some other ideas in the tutorial that you can see on the last page. So here is a little drawing of how a bracelet would look like. You would probably need, I think, at least 7 motifs, unless, for example, you add some bezeled chatons or chaton roses in between, or crystal connectors. You can always play with those ideas. So my version for the third motif that I have on my bead mat, since my earrings are finished, will actually require a brooch base, and this is a bit of improvisation, but often I get the question from you that how can you sew a motif into a brooch base, and I would like to show it to you today. I don't know yet how I am going to do it. Pretty much every beaded motif can be sewn into filigrees. You need to find a matching type. There are lots of possibilities to choose from. You just need to find the meeting points where some of the beads on the edge of the motif and some parts of the filigree match up. There are brooch bases available where the brooch is directly attached, glued on the filigree. So they can be super nice. I like to use this. The positive side of this is that we already have the brooch base. However, these are not the historic ones that are my favorites. However, if you are into the historic filigrees, just a moment, I'm grabbing some to show you. Then you can also turn those into brooch bases. So these are the historic filigrees, and you can, I think, clearly see that the details of these are just so much more rich, and yeah, they are higher quality actually. So you can also turn these into brooch bases, either by gluing on a simple brooch base on the back, or, for example, adding a layer of ultra sweet on the back and then sewing on the brooch base on the back of the ultra sweet. In that case, you can be sure that the fastening of the two will stay strong, since you are not relying only on glue. Eve is asking about the pastel colored filigrees that we have, and I have to say that probably we are not getting more of those because there were so many in the packages that we got. We are always calling everything, making sure that what's not up to standards does not get to your packages. We do our best to actually put them away. So with this, we had lots of garbage, lots of really not nice pieces. So I'm not sure that we will be getting more of those. But back to the little motif. I am now quickly securing my tail so I can cut it away before I would attach the filigree to the motif. Oh, and Jeannie says in the meanwhile that she already did Frozen Lake and then that it went very well for her. I'm super happy to hear that, Ginny. And Nancy says, historical filigrees is the best filigree ever. Please restock them. Those we are restocking every time when we can. They are made by a little company that we are working together with closely. So it requires some time until they are manufactured. No rush there. It's a company which works with like old machines, some of them 100 years old, and it's super high quality material. So it's not definitely not about about the speed, but about the quality. So I just secured my tail. I cut away the remaining little part. And I will show you how I am working when I want to attach any kind of motif to a filigree base. So this is what I chose for today. And first of all, I always try to find the alignment with the filigree. I turn it around. It could go in different ways. And what I need to find is at least 2 points, but better with the bigger motifs, 2 are not enough. With a small one like this, 2 are working. 2 will work, but with bigger beaded motifs, you need a lot more attachment points. Here, what I see now, that the DELICA beads on the edge of the motif are kind of in alignment with these parts of the filigree. So in the beaded motif, I need beads on the edge that can be attached, and in the filigree, or groups of beads, and in the filigree, I need a part where I can like sew around it up and down without the thread becoming very visible. So I'm exiting now the DELICA bead. I bead down through the filigree, and then I bead up again and through the DELICA. I repeat this at least 2 more times. You can also like do it with a different thread to make sure that if you are not happy with it later, then you can cut away the filigree and use your beaded motif in a different way, or the filigree in a different way if you need it for something else. Then I finish by beading through the DELICA again. I pull my thread once more. Okay, I'm actually not that happy about this, because the spaces started to curl up. So I will frog this. And hi Anna in the meanwhile. Good to see you. And I will bead today's motif later, she says. By the way, often I get the question like, shall I be afraid that the filigree will cut the thread? I have to say that in my experience, you should not be afraid. I'm doing this all the time, and it has never happened so far with me, nor did I hear it from other beaders. We have already been talking about it in the past together, and I got very good feedback from fellow beaders. So I try to find some other alignment. I was not measuring it well. So what I can do is I can also add some extra beads to make it work. So there are lots of possibilities. I will actually show you another way how you can do it when you are a bit like, wow, what can I do now? It doesn't seem to work. Okay, I will actually, okay, what I meant was that I make loops going back and forth, and I attach one bead to two parts of the filigree, but again, I see that it would not work. However, this will work. Okay, so I'm actually changing my intention, and I will attach the filigree through the 3mm round burrs. And I will attach one round burr to two parts of the filigree. So I'm exiting the round burr. I bead down through the filigree. I bead up again, and surprise, surprise, I bead back through the same bead. Now I bead down again at a different point, and I bead up again. And I bead through the 3mm round bead in the original direction. So I'm showing it from the back. My stitches are here and here. And to make it more secure, I repeat the thread passes, down and up again, backwards through the 3mm bead, down and up again, and in the original direction through the 3mm bead. So this is how it looks like at the moment. The 3mm bead is secured to the filigree. And then To secure it completely, I bead to the opposite side of the motif. Until I am exiting the 3mm round bead. And I attach it in the same way. So I'm exiting the bead. Here one more time the filigree itself so you see it better. I will attach it here and here. So beading down, beading up, beading backwards, beading down, beading up, beading in the original direction. So the little motif is secured. Since it's so small, then it's enough to attach it at 2 points. Otherwise, when you are working with a bigger one, then you need to attach it at more places. So ladies, I hope you liked this, and please let me know if you have any more questions. Vanya, after I finish, Vanya is asking about the free version of the tutorial. After the video is finished, I would like to recommend to start the recording and watch the first part of the video. And there I show you how you can download the tutorial today. And Margareta, thank you for your help to Vanya. So ladies, I hope you liked it. I hope you may even try to work with filigrees if you haven't tried it yet. Please let me know afterwards how you liked the motif. Please keep posting your jewels over the weekend, and make sure to check out also the events tab at beadingschool.com. I'm going to share my screen again. Just a moment. I want to show you this is actually a newer feature that we have just added. Just a moment. So there is a new tab at the top of the page, and it says events. So you click here, and then you can see all the videos or whatever stuff we are doing, what's happening at Beading School, from the most recent until the most distant ones. So as you can see, this is today's No One Has to Bead Alone. The topics are complete with the material list to make sure that you can prepare in advance. Then tomorrow we are having Beading School Academy lunch break. So it's a lunch break with our Susie, and you can join through the Beading School Academy. It's for all of our current Beading School Academy students, so you can bead together through Zoom and enjoy each other's company. Also, of course, you can ask all your questions of Susie, and she can help you with whatever beady questions do you have. The next week we are having coffee time with Erika, and I will have a guest from the Beadworkers Guild, and we are going to talk about the Great British Bead Show, where I will be teaching some classes this year. And then next week's No One Has to Bead Alone, Susie's bergamot design, already here the material list, so you can start putting together your beads. And next week on Saturday we are having storytelling night with 𝐁𝐄𝐃, And this is again for our Beading School Academy students, for turquoise and fuchsia level Beading School Academy students, and so on and so on. Coffee times and all, no one has to bead alone, and lunch breaks and everything scheduled until the beginning of March. So I will check your comments once more. Jeannie loved it. I'm super happy about that. Facebook user friend wishes happy weekend to everyone. Shelly is awaiting her box. Exciting. And hi, Cindy. And if there are no more questions, oh, I have one more information. Since we are having these glitches on the website, then unfortunately we could not post the first signature jewel tutorial because we could not make the settings so Academy students can download it without paying for it. And Adam is working on it, so it should be on Tuesday available for you. So I'm sorry for the inconvenience and thank you for your patience. Wishing everyone a great weekend and enjoy Susie's company and each other's company tomorrow. Happy beading. Bye bye.